Hello friends, how are you? Please reply in comment box. In this video lecture, we will be studying about the coordinate geometry. What is the significance of coordinate geometry and how do you locate any point in a coordinate system that is known as Cartesian coordinates. Friends, there are number of coordinate systems like spherical coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, Cartesian coordinate system, and curvilinear coordinate systems. So in that all have their own physical significance and importance. Today in this lecture you will learn about how you can locate any point, any location on a graph paper or on a diagram by using the techniques of coordinate geometry. So already I have talked about the how to locate a point on a number line, and you can watch that video. I will provide a link of that video in this description box, and you can also watch that video by clicking the I button on the right corner of the video screen. So you know how to describe the position of a point on the line. There are many other situations in which to find a point we are required to describe its position with reference to more than one line. So that we will describe in this. So here you can see that if here is a east-west direction and you want to find someone's house. So for that what you will do, you will follow some particular street. So you can see that suppose you want to find a house that is lying on a street number 7. So firstly what you will do, you go to the street number 7 and then you will go to the house number 4. So that means you need at least two reference line for that to locate the house. First line is the street number, that is north south direction, and the house position in that street. Okay. Similarly, suppose you put a dot on the sheet of paper. If we ask you to tell us the position of the dot on the paper, what is the position of the this dot on this paper, how will you determine the position? For that what you will do, you will try in some such a manner that dot is in the upper half of the paper, or it is near the left edge of the paper, or it is very near the left hand upper corner of the sheet. But do you think that any of these statements fix the position of the dot precisely? No. Why? The dot is nearly 5 cm away from the left edge of the paper. It helps to give some idea but still doesn't fix the position of the dot. So what the next is needed? The next is needed the second reference line. That is a little thought might enable to say that the dot is also at a distance of 9 cm above the bottom line. So now there is the another reference line to help us to locate the position of dot. Okay. So for this purpose we fix the position of the dot by specifying its distances from two fixed lines, the left edge of the paper and the bottom line of the paper. In other words, we need two independent information for finding the position of the dot. Okay, that means we require two reference lines for determining the position of any point on two dimensional. Okay, so this is the discussion about the Rene Descartes, a mathematician in respect of whom Cartesian coordinate system is named. So, in the discussion above, you observed that the position of any object lying in a plane can be represented with the help of two perpendicular lines. In case of dot, we require distance of the dot from the bottom line as well as the left edge of the paper. In case of any other situation, you need to reference lines to decide the precise position of any point in two dimensions. So this idea has far-reaching consequences and has given rise to a very important branch of mathematics known as the coordinate geometry. This study was initially developed by the French philosopher and mathematician René Descartes. So René Descartes, the great French mathematician of the 17th century, liked to lie in bed and think. One day, when resting in bed, he solved the problem of describing the position of a point in a plane. His method was a development of the older idea of the latitude and longitude. In honor of the Descartes, I told you the system used for describing the position of a point in plane is known as the Cartesian system. So if you are asked that in whom name the Cartesian coordinate system is given, so you can tell that that is the René Descartes. Okay. Now the Cartesian system. What is the Cartesian system? You already know about the number line and I have discussed about this. So this is the number line on which you can plot numbers, integers, real numbers and all those things. So on the number line, distances from a fixed point are marked in equal units, positively in one direction and negatively in other direction. So you fix the position and that is called the origin. And if you move in this direction, that is plus axis, or you can say that is the plus direction, and when you move in this direction, this is the negative. So if 1 unit distances represent the number 1, then 3 unit distance represent the number 3. So friends, the point in the negative direction, if you want to measure a distance r from the origin, that will be represented by the number minus r. And if the point in the positive direction at a distance r, if you want to measure, then that will be represented by the number plus r. So Descartes invented the idea of placing two such line numbers perpendicular to each other on a plane, and with the help of these two perpendicular lines you can locate any point in the plane. So, and perpendicular line may be in any direction, such as in you can see in the figure A, B and C. So we generally take two lines perpendicular to each other. One is called the x-axis and other is called the y-axis, and x-axis is the in the direction of horizontal line, and other y-axis is perpendicular to the x-axis. So these lines are actually obtained as follows. So take two number lines calling xx prime and yy prime, and place x prime x horizontal and write the number on it just as written on the number line. We do the same thing with the yy line. So we we locate all the points on the line number, and with the help of this you can locate any point on the plane. The point where x prime x and y prime y cut across each other is called the origin. So this is origin, and the this is the positive direction of x-axis, and this is the negative direction of x-axis. This is the positive direction of y-axis, and this is the negative direction of y-axis. Now you can see that these two line number divides a plane into four quadrants, four quadrants: quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. So in quadrant 1, x and y both are positive, and in quadrant 2, y is positive and x is negative. In quadrant 3, both x and y are negative, and quadrant 4, x is positive and y is negative. So you must remember these conditions of quadrant. Now let us see why this system is so important to mathematics and how it is useful. Suppose you want to locate some point P and Q in graph. So how will we determine the position of P and Q? So for that you will measure the distance of P from y-axis along x-axis and distance of P from x-axis along y-axis. So basically these 2 points will decide the position of point P, and that point is denoted by, suppose, first x and y. That is, this x is the distance of P along x-axis, and at what distance it is from the y-axis. So that is denoted by x coordinate. And second reference number that will decide the position of P is known as the y coordinate, and that is the distance of P from x-axis along y-axis. So this x coordinate is known as the abscissa, and y coordinate is known as the ordinate. So this is abscissa and this is ordinate. Okay. So in this way you can locate any point in a plane. So there are examples and problems you can use. You can solve those problems to locate a point in a plane using the Cartesian coordinate system. If find any difficulties in locating a point in coordinates, you can ask me in comment box. I will help you. I will guide you how to locate the point. Okay, so basically what you will have to do, that you have to follow the x-axis and y-axis for measuring the distances of any point, and after that you will find the position of any point, whether it is in the positive quadrant or negative quadrant. Okay, so these are some examples, and these are very easy. Now what I have told you, that the quadrant 1, in quadrant 1 x and y both are positive. In quadrant 2 the x is negative and y is positive, and quadrant 3 both x and y are negative. In quadrant 4 x is positive and y is negative. So follow these signs convention and you will be able to decide the position of any point. So you can do this. So here in 3.3, plotting a point in the plane if its coordinates are given. So suppose you are given a coordinate 3 and p, and you have to ask to plot this point in a plane. So what you will do? First you will measure the distance along x-axis, here that is 3. So you will mark the position 3 on the number line along x-axis, and then you will mark the position of 5 along the y-axis, and where these two positions are cutting each other, that will decide the position of this coordinate, right? Similarly, we can find the coordinate position of coordinate 5 and -4. Here -4 means you have to follow the negative direction of y-axis from the origin, and after that you can follow the sign convention in the similar way, and you can locate the position 5 and -4. Correct? So you are asked to locate these positions. You can easily do this. So solve these problems, and if you are getting any difficulties, I will help you, and let me know in the comment box. So summary of this video lecture is that to locate the position of an object or a point in a plane, we require two perpendicular lines. One of them is horizontal and another is vertical. The plane is called the Cartesian plane or coordinate plane, and the lines are called the coordinate axes. The horizontal line is called the x-axis and vertical line is called the y-axis. The coordinate axes divide the plane into four parts, and these each parts are called the quadrants. The point of intersection of the axis is called the origin, and we generally denote it by the capital O. The distance of a point from the y-axis is called its x-coordinate or abscissa. So distance of a point from the y-axis. So suppose this is the coordinates x and y. So if you want to measure the distance of point from the y-axis, that will be this, and this is called the abscissa, that is along the x-axis. Correct? And the distance of the point from the x-axis is called the y coordinate or ordinate. So basically when you want to measure the distance from x-axis, that will be along the y-axis, and it is called the ordinate or y coordinates. If the abscissa of a point x and ordinate is y, then these are called coordinate, and the x and y, they are denoted by x and y and called the coordinates of a point. The coordinates of the point on the x-axis are of the form x0. So any point lying on the x-axis will be denoted by x comma 0. 0 means that y coordinate value is 0, that is point is lying on the x-axis, and if x is negative, then the point is lying along the negative x-axis, and if the point on the y-axis, then in that case the value of x will be 0, and the coordinate of a point is denoted by 0 comma y. So coordinate of the origin is 0 0. The coordinates of a point are of the form plus plus in the first coordinate, minus plus in the second coordinate, and minus minus in the third coordinate, and plus minus in the fourth quadrant, right? If x is not equal to y, then x comma y is not equal to yx, and x comma y is equal to y comma x if x is equal to y. That means if you are switching the value of x coordinate and y coordinate, the location of point will change if x coordinate and y coordinate values are not equal. If they are equal, there is no problem, that is 4 4 5 5 3 3 2 2 11 11. If the value of x and y coordinates are equal, then there is nothing to change if you are switching the coordinate value. But if they are not equal, the location will change. So friends, so these are the things which I wanted to discuss with you in the coordinate system, and we learned that how to locate a point in the coordinate system and what are the different component of coordinate system. I hope that you learned about the coordinate system and enjoyed this video lecture. If you find this video helpful, please press the like button and share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also learn. So friends, if you have not subscribed this Sci Academy channel, please subscribe it by pressing the subscribe button. Thank you.